Hi everybody, my name is Elizabeth Howell and this is my TED Talk. I'm going to just be covering what it looks like to create a little bit of, kind of get to the end goal of creating a persona to help create a marketing plan for a very specific target audience. So in the previous weeks I've discussed a car dealership option where we help people out with financing scenarios. Today, I want to talk about aircraft sales, specifically young pilots wanting to get into an aircraft, and even more specifically, somebody looking to get into aerobatics. Just for a little bit of background, I personally like aerobatics, and I'm that young pilot that wants to get into an aircraft. Need to do my research and looking into options because I know to become a professional aerobatic pilot, realistically you need to own an aircraft and just train on the side. Whatever you do as your day job's different. So let's get started. So our first course of action is the actionable data we have to consider. So aerobatic options, talk to clubs and schools about what good aerobatic aircraft there are and what it looks like to purchase one, and used plane prices. We're a dealership, so we want to offer competitive prices and also just consider the options of we're going to be more expensive than somebody buying off of same marketplace, but we also, as a dealership, will offer that security that the aircraft is not going to immediately break down. So you give a little, you take a little bit. So those are some of our actionable data to consider. Our segment is looking at new pilots looking to finance or maybe buy part of an aircraft. Our specific target is young pilots between 20 and 30 years old. They're really getting started in life. Maybe they're just graduated with a bachelor's, or they've haven't bothered with university. They're already into a career and maybe not the highest paying job on the planet. So I would like to focus on the lower middle class because as a dealership, I want to help people get into a deal no matter where their financial situation is. And the complication is helping people in a lower tax bracket, for lack of better terms. So my goal is low middle class, 20, 30 years old, early in the workforce, and they want to build skills for a competition eventually. Maybe even if they get good enough at it, looking at being a professional aerobatic pilot, but they got a career on the side. So that would be a cool end goal, but it's one of the ideas that they have. So our positioning as a dealership offering this is to offer really good financing options for young pilots, education about these options, what it looks like, what a credit pool looks like if they've never bought a vehicle before. Odds are, if they're getting into an airplane, they've probably gone through the vehicle purchase process before, but some of them may have bought vehicles off of Marketplace or through other routes, so they may not have gone through financing before. So we want to make sure they're fully educated on what it looks like if they decide to go the financing route. But a lot of people who want to get into a really nice aircraft also go in parts with people. So we could talk to them about options of get a group of friends together and all of you go in together on an aircraft, because that ultimately also saves you on the maintenance cost of the aircraft if you're splitting it 4, 5, 6 ways. Also, we could look into options of, as a dealership, reach out to pilots who are trying to sell a portion of the aircraft. Maybe an aircraft that already has 6 people, for example, that have parts of the aircraft and one person wants to back out of their part. We could be there to be like, hey, instead of trying to grab people off Marketplace and other Craigslist and other options where you're trying to just find people who will buy part of an aircraft, because buying part of an aircraft is a pretty big deal, come to us. We'll put your plane up. We won't put it on the lot, but we'll get people interested if they want to come see it, and we'll help you sell that portion of your aircraft to somebody who's really trying to get into an aircraft. So that is our goal. So with that in mind, we can come up with a nice little introductory statement that our dealership, so for young pilots entering aerobatics, Skyshift Aircraft Sales is the dealer that stands out because we will help anyone with a low budget get into a deal they can handle on an aircraft suited for them. That's our mission statement now. With everything we have, it was easy to just put it all together in one sentence that'll grab the attention of anybody. So now that we have that, we have our last step is make a persona, because we need we have our target, we have our opening statement, our attention grabber. We're ready to reach out to people, but we need to get that personal connection to our audience. And how are we going to do that? We're going to do that through a persona. So our persona is Liz Bland. She's 23 years old. She's a police officer. She makes about, she's worked her way up a little bit. She makes about $80,000 a year before taxes. So she's in the lower middle class. She's not fresh out of college making 50 grand a year. She's in a position where she can consider maybe trying to buy an aircraft, although it's still not easy at this point, right? She wants to compete. She wants to train. She wants to be an aerobatic pilot. But as we said, she's tight on her budget. But this girl, she's willing to jump on something that'll offer easy monthly payments, that is either a new aircraft that won't have a lot of maintenance problems, or maybe jump in on a group, buy a portion of an aircraft so that she doesn't have to worry about 100% of the maintenance costs. So that's what she's looking for. She's ready. When she sees the right thing pop up, she's going to grab it. That's our persona. So for us, how do we reach her? Social media. She's young. She uses social media a lot. She follows a lot of aerobatic pilots. Try to get our ads out there, and also just have our own social media page. Try to get our publicity up and get ourselves out there. Show who we are, show that we care about the young pilots who really are just trying to get an aircraft for the first time. Offer flexible financing and education about that financing, and shared ownership options, so that we can do everything in our power that if this young woman is able to get into a deal, we'll make sure we find that deal for her. And that's how you make a persona for your marketing design. That's how you make that personal connection with your target group. So I hope this helps you guys in any marketing or business plan you guys have, and good luck in your own endeavors.